Hey guys, DM Philosopher here, Matt's the name. Just going to go over my latest product here. Spent the last several days working on this one. It's a big one, so I decided to give the dwarves a bit of love now, and I've done a 3-level Dwarven Redoubt. It's quite a massive project. There's over 80 rooms, there's over 100 and so point of view shots, so it's a big one. So basically it's Dwarven Redoubt is just a defensible position that's located within the mountain side. Okay, so anyway, let's just jump in here and have a look at it. So starting with the first level, so this is the daytime gridded map. What we've got is we've got a large sort of central chamber. This is a full 3 levels high. When we get to the level 3 side of it, you'll see that there's overlook over into this sort of chamber here, and there's also a hole in the floor here, so you can look down over this part of the chamber too. So this is a massive entranceway. This is a defensible sort of slots with sort of murder holes in the side and the like. We've got a very large barracks off to the side here. That's sort of your rapid response sort of barracks should the place come under attack with little notice. You've got, as you can see, a couple of hundred dwarves that can just sort of spill out there. Those are all bunks. We've got a common room here, so drinks and something like that are served. Dinners and stuff are served up here. Up the stairs there's there's a kitchen and another common room, and same with this side as well. So we've got the bunks along here. On this part of the first level, we've got a temple which they can sort of worship their god as such, and also a stairwell up. And we've also got the forges, okay, which is in a way another place of worship for the dwarves. So there's a number of forges there. There's plenty of space there for the upkeep of the garrison in this location. There's a storeroom there, sort of a guard post here. And then moving into this side, obviously you've got the barracks. I've sort of positioned this as like an administrative sort of area. So there's a small library there, as well as some desks and chairs and something like that, with more books and something like that. So this is sort of the administrative wing, stairwell up to the next level. And then we've sort of got the throne room, and this is another 3-level high room. So you've got this part of it is 2 levels high, and then on the 3rd level you've got balconies that overlook the aisle and the throne, and then there's also another balcony above the throne. And then we sort of get into this part here, which is where we have the sort of the guards. You start getting into the royal guards or the lord's guards, with the clan bosses guards, whatever the case may be, as well as the stairwell up to the royal region. So that is the daytime gridded map. We've got the daytime gridless, the nighttime gridded, and the nighttime gridless map, and then we've got oodles of point of view shots. So you'll notice that on some of my maps I put a lot of sort of debris and rocks and something like that, but the dwarves are quite canny warsmiths, and they know to keep the combat ground clear so as to provide less cover and opportunities for attacking forces to use rubble for the offence, or to stack up, or to as cover and the like. So the dwarves have kept their ground clear in front. Here's the main gate. We've got on the 3rd level we've got a number of entranceways out and onto balconies, so that they can fire down upon attacking forces. And you can see that it's quite high off the ground. That'd probably be a good 30-40 feet off the ground. Yeah, those are defensible balconies that can be accessed from the 3rd level. Moving into the chamber, so this is sort of the lock, or the murder hole as such. So you have to come through here when you first arrive, and you can see that there's ample locations for dwarves to stick spears and crossbows and something like that through, should it be a hostile force. Yeah, another sort of main gate and massive doors and something like that. So there's just a reverse shot of that. You can see that it's definitely defensible. Heading into the main chamber, you can see the statues there, and they can depict heroes or something of dwarven origin. And here's a view from the dwarf side of the murder hole, so just being able to poke through there whatever you choose to, or even just conduct business through them. You don't even have to attack. If you don't want people to come in but you need to exchange goods or something like that, then through that would be fine. Carrying on, so we've got the first sort of doorway. This goes through to the barracks. So point of view shots of the barracks, the common room, heading down towards the forges and the temple. Here's the temple here. So you can see that it's a couple of different shots of the temple area. You can see the staircase going up to the next level, and then we get shots of all the forges, the storeroom, more forges. So we see all the forges in close up, so you can sort of get a sense of how that's laid out. We then head into the barracks on the right hand side of the map, where there's a stairwell going up to the next level, and then we get to the administrative quarter of the map. So there's an office, there's a sort of there'd be scribes and something like this. Is just outside the small library. Here's the small library here, and another office, and then we come through to, that's a stairwell up to the next level, and this is, that's my phone, and then we head towards the throne room. So the throne room, you can see, is quite a shady affair as such. It's very somber looking, but that suits the purpose of what the king does there, or the lord does. This is the door off to the royal quarter of the map, and then we head in a small sort of room which guards will be posted at, and then we come through to the sort of the honor guards rooms, and you'll notice that there's a couple of different styles of bunks that I post. The brown ones are more for the common soldiers, the white ones are more for sort of the more elite soldiers, and then the more elite still get single beds themselves. And finally we have a look up at the staircase that goes up to the next level. So we've obviously got all of those same point of view shots, but just with a nighttime filter, so I'll just run through them very quickly because this is going to be quite a long video. Obviously the actual tunnels themselves, they don't feel daylight, but I've sort of darkened them up for the more atmospheric and moody shots. So this is the nighttime shots of level 1. So let's get stuck into level 2. So this is the level 2 map. You can see here that it's got the same common area for the main sort of entranceway and the grand hall, and same with the throne room, but everything else is sort of changed. Okay, so that's the gridless map. We've got the nighttime grid map and the nighttime gridless map. Just so you know, with all of the point of view shots, what I've tried to do is cover the bottom left, the top left, then the bottom right, and then the top right in terms of an order to those point of view shots. So just if you're trying to sort through the sheer weight of point of view shots, that's how you're going to find them in that approximate order. So what we've got here is we've got that common room. So this is the common room where you come up from the lower level. The common room is there. You can see the kitchen next door to it is well stocked. It's got to feed a lot of dwarves. And then we come through to again, you've got quite elite quarters here. They've got single beds. There's an armory just before the staircase, and this leads through to the large sort of I don't know, it's like a communal, maybe it's where all the dwarves can assemble to be addressed by the leader. They can share in worship. It's a place of, I don't know, almost like Athenian democracy or something. But there's tiered seating there, and obviously people could hold audience in the middle, whether it's leading worship or laying out plans and the like. So that's the communal chamber, and the stairwell leading up to the next level, and we've got some more and more elite guards. That's the white bunks, and then we've got the other common room on the other side. So that's level 1 down there, level 2 up here, And here's another shot of the common room. This is sort of a bit more upmarket, so if they had guests or something like that, they would probably eat here rather than the other common side of things. Here's another well-stocked kitchen, so this is on the right hand side of the map, hanging fish and the like, and a storeroom next door to that heads up to level 3, and there's the storeroom again. And then we head into, so this stairwell heads up to the balcony that overlooks the throne room, and this heads through to sort of the next area of the administrative wing. So again, more books and beds of more elite people. This could be clerics and the like. And we've got a large guard room because through this door here is the more royal side of things, and here's the elite guards for the royal part of the complex, and again more elite bedding here. And finally we get to a stairwell. So this is the stairwell that comes up from the throne room quarter, and there's space for guards to sit down and do guard duty from there. So that is now it's onto the nighttime filter. So that's, you can see that yeah, it's exactly the same shots, just taken with a darker filter to imply sort of a nighttime or darker states, you know, not as many candles lit or so on like that. It's a bit more moody and atmospheric. You could say that dwarves are quite happy to live in that sort of lighting because they got dark vision, but nevertheless anyway. So that is level 2, and then we get to level 3, and you can see that this main chamber is sort of closed in a little bit because all of this area here is balcony. It's overhanging the lower parts, and there's continues to be the murder hole tradition along here, along this entranceway bit, so you can shoot down while protected. That entire space is enclosed, so even if a flying enemy got in, they're still going to be poked and prodded from everywhere. This area here though, that's just a standard balcony edging around it, so you can look down, and if you could fly, you could fly straight up from this chamber down below on level 1/level 2 and up onto level 3. But that's, you know, just in terms of the way it's spatially organized. And then we get through here to this. So this is a major set of barracks off to the left here. This is a Dwarven Redoubt, really is. It's a military sort of facility as such, so there's got to be a lot of bedding for your soldiers. So you got a lot of your common soldiers, a few elite soldiers, and more elite. So these are single beds here. There's the staircase up from the lower level, and that's the staircase up from the lower level as well. That feeds straight out to here. That's the staircase from the lower level, on this part here, this is where I'd imagine that with the common sort of prayer, worship, debating room down below, this would sort of be the more learned sort of wing of the complex. So this is where the clerics would probably be based, law holders, mages, if you like to have mages in your dwarven societies. I don't see why they wouldn't, but anyway, so you got single beds here, so there's quite, and also some major bedrooms with just a single bed in it. So these would be your head priests, your sub-head priests, or your second command type people, and then your main clerics and the apprentices maybe. We've also got a very large library on this level, so that's dwarfs the other library down on level 1, and on top of that you've got a variety of bookcases scattered around through the clerics' rooms. On this corner here we've got another sort of large extension of the barracks to house and feed, or not house and feed, to service the military operation, and that goes straight down to the common room. So you can see that all the soldiers are within easy walk of their bellies needs as such, and elite bedding. And then we've got a couple of, again, very special bedrooms. So this would be, again, your key administrative people. They've got a bedroom, sort of their own office space. We've sort of got a war room, or a leader's planning room, along with more elite bedding there. That's the stairwell up from level 2, and it goes straight out onto balcony, but then there's a big gap between this balcony and this balcony. If you've come up from the royal quarter through the stairwells, then you can come straight up and either go stand on this balcony here, or without having a clear line of sight from this edge of balcony here, you can come straight through to the royal quarters. So again, elites bedding, that'd be for the royal household guard or the closest guards to the lords. And then we've got sort of 3 beds to a room in these 2 bedrooms. So that would be for their family, the lord's family or extended family or honoured guests and the like. And then you got the lord's room and the treasure room behind it. So that is the daytime map. Let's quickly get through these point of view shots because I don't want this video to go on forever. So here we can see the murder holes along the side there and the view down into that area. Here's the hole that leads down to the other grand hall part of the complex, and then we look down. So this way is the barracks, and this way is the learned sort of side of it. So we hit the barracks up first. Those are the elites' bedrooms, and then we go to the common, the elite beds and so on like that. And this is the sort of the south face of the barracks, so more common barracks basically. Then we get through to the clerics part of it. So we can see here the bedding and the sort of office space or study space. This is the office space attached to the library, and we've got another special bedroom, sort of two beds to the room. And here's the library. That's the one that's attached to this room here with the 4 desks in it. So that's a large library, very large library, very scattered and dishevelled, not very organised. It's not an Elven library. Dwarves would keep good care of their books, but they're not really fussy in terms of how they keep their library. That's the elite, or this the clerics and apprentices quarters. These are the main clerics or the head clerics rooms. So just 1 bed to the room, and then we've got the sort of second in commands and the like. This is now on the administrative or royal side of the complex. So we've got some large elite bedding, or this could even be a guest quarters or something like that. It's really up to the DM who you position in every bed. And here's the planning war room. You can see there, I quite like the idea of communal rooms. My 3-level city block map has got, in the inn, it's got a number of sort of private chamber rooms, but I kind of see dwarves as having it quite Spartan, quite sparse and very functional, whereas in the 3-level city block tavern, it's quite warm, it's got fireplaces and paintings and the like. But anyway, more administrative space for key administration officials, and then we come through to the barracks. Okay, so we've got a variety of sort of barracks rooms here before we get back to the throne room. And here we can see a view from the balconies looking down over. So this is the royal balcony that overlooks. So this is just above the throne. That's the special guests. Only special guests would really get up to that top level balcony, because you don't want assassins standing up there with the lord down on the throne. And this is the stairway up from level 2, and then the short sort of corner there, which would see you get through this door without getting attacked. Say if the place was under attack, you wouldn't have to worry about getting shot from the balconies. And here's the corridor that leads up to the royal rooms, elite quarters. We've got the fancy bedroom 1, fancy bedroom 2, and then the lord's room here, and last but not least, the treasure room. So we've got exactly the same shots there, but just at night time. So just flick through all those. You can see that, I kind of like the dark ones better actually than the light ones, but if you really want to show detail and some of that, then the light ones are good. And plus VTTs have got the fog of war, which kind of keeps track of that darkness and light and some of that, so you don't necessarily need them for this. So that's the nighttime point of view shots. That is the 3 levels for the Dwarven Redoubt. That's over 80 rooms. I haven't counted the number of point of view shots, but you can see that there's easily over 120, I would guess. So this has got a lot of use, this one. So whether it's a Dwarven Redoubt that's been taken over by some bad guys and their army, and your characters have got to find a way in, or if they're working to defend the redoubt with the dwarves and it's under massive assault, or if it's a place for the characters to call home once they clear it out. You know, you can get a lot of use out of this. So that is the Dwarven Redoubt. You can find that on RPG Now. I'll post a link to that underneath my YouTube clip. Otherwise, I really hope that this enriches your gaming. I do actually plan on doing a few more Dwarven products to really sort of flesh out that sort of underground Dwarven sort of kingdom sort of vibe as such. So I hope that gives you better gaming. Otherwise, thanks for listening and happy gaming, people.